The Atlanta radio host that put one Claressa Shields on blast. How much longer you're going to be prepared to be with someone else's husband in a public relationship finally speaks out. Yes, that's right. So in this video, I got to break it down. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Before I get started, Claressa Shields, she's gone. The mind is applesauce at this point. She posted these, and it said, people will study you, copy you, fail at being you, then envy you. Of all people, why is Claressa Shields posting that? People will copy you from the #1 copycat? Oh, man. And then she posted this one, right? And she likes to repost all these people's posts, and then, I guess that's how she feels. This person said, preparing for my Netflix documentary on how I befriended a girl who wanted my life and secretly hated me the entire time. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Ain't that exactly what you did to Remy Ma? Envious of her and her relationship, black love, with husband Papoose, which is why the radio show called you out. You were in her inbox trying to get tips because you dressed like Adam Sandler. Oh, shampoo is better. No conditioner. Right? You dressed like Adam Sandler prior to meeting Remy Ma and trying to clone and bite her style. Right? And then you try to steal her life. So this girl is bonkers. She's literally posting this stuff as if this is how she feels. And it's all one big projection. And I told you guys, and I haven't deceived y'all since. Keep supporting me. Bet on us this year. All this girl does is lie and project. The things that people are saying about her, she'll try to spin it, flip it, bend it, contort it, and somehow use this projection to make it appear like everybody else is doing what she's doing. Couple examples. She's known for copying Remy. Just type it up on Google. There's outfits, there's hairstyles. Anybody in Remy's circle, you are on the mood board, like Juju. Copying the dress almost verbatim, same designer and everything, right, from Nordstrom. I've already went over this and done videos on this. At this point, it's well documented. So how can a person who's been so well documented for copying Remy and Remy's circle try to spin it and flip it like they're the victim? Just to give you guys an example, I have a video from a month ago. Look at the thumbnail I went with. I will copy everything you do. 1 month ago, 33,000 views. Boxing Ego. Yeah, that's me. Claressa took it too far with Remy Ma. Literally, the video says I will copy everything you do. You would think that since you're now being put on Front Street, now being called out for your transgressions, that you're like, oh man, the people are on to me. I'm copying, because everything I talk about, I support and show receipts, right? You would think that she would like maybe back off of it. Since that video, she's continued to copy Remy, right? In the gym, using Remy's known lyrics. Watch how you talk to me. Remy started a song like that. Dissing you and Papoose. Watch how you talk to me. I'm a mogul. You getting surgery in exchange for some promo. Right? Trying to talk with a New York accent when you're from Flint. 3.0 GPA with honors. Unbelievable. Remy did an interview with Angie Martinez. 3 days later, you're saying, I'm in my soft girl era. When the whole Angie Martinez Remy conversation, large chunks of it were about Remy being in her soft girl era, right? So she continues to steal, and it's flagrant. And me alone, I've made several videos about it. So that would be like a bank robber, and the feds are on to the bank robber. They haven't figured it out, but they left the mask and they left the glove, and they're getting some DNA from it. So the spot's hot. You probably shouldn't do any bank robberies. You should lay low in this area because the feds are onto you and they're closing in. Most people, I would say, would have the wherewithal. Here's another one. Boxer Ego, 24,000 views a month ago, is giving copycat Claressa Shields the receipts, just da-da-da, she stole my look. So that's just me, and that's only 2 videos. I've talked about this heavily. So back to it, how is she out here campaigning like, oh, people want my life, and they're jealous, and they'll study you and copy you? Projection at its finest. Several people sent me this clip. It's from the Dennis Byron show, right? And they actually interviewed the host that put Claressa Shields on the spot with the tough question, right? So shout out to Dennis Byron, and it looks like Nyla says they interviewed Miss Shyneka from the Young Jock morning show, right? And I'll link in the description so you can watch the video yourself. I want to recap.
Studio.
Well,
So the question is basically about what was the energy when you asked that question?
everybody was shocked because they had no clue that I was going to. I didn't have a clue, but I just analyzed her personality and I just felt like I could be real in the moment. I mean, she gets a considerable amount of hate. She's a young woman.
Now, I disagree right then and there. I disagree with her getting a considerable amount of hate. In my opinion, we really have to work on the framing of what is being said and what is being put out there in the narrative, right? For me, hate is not telling the truth, right? The things that people are saying, by and large, I'm not saying she don't have no haters, because there's probably some people who are just like going below the belt and stuff. But by and large, a lot of what people are saying are genuine, constructive criticism and questions. You're with a married man. How's that feel? That's not hate, right? Some people even try to pull that on me. They be like, oh, you're hating. I ain't never had a hate on nobody, right? I'm ego. Who I got to hate on, right? I'm comfortable in my own skin. So I don't like the framing of like, oh, it's hate. What are people hating on? Claressa Shields continues to run amok, act like unprofessional, and act like really a degenerate, and then people call her out. No more, no less. Correct and change the behavior, then people won't have nothing to say.
Woman. She is at the top of her game in the sport that she's in. And I'm just like, you really have this big controversy hanging over your head. Like, I just feel like she's more than this relationship that people keep tying her to. But at the same time, like,
And I got to jump in. That's also a Claressa problem. Because to be real, when she was with no-namers, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm saying the industry didn't know who these people were. Tony Rich, even Maserati Bud, whatever that was, name wasn't ringing bells like that. I didn't know who Maserati Bud was, right? And past people like that guy she was sleeping on the bed with the dirty mattress and the dirty pillowcase, we don't know them characters. So Claressa, in my honest opinion, she thought she struck gold, like a California gold miner, right? During the gold rush, like a 49er. She was like, I'm engaged to this dude, and now somebody that I've idolized, their relationship on Love and Hip Hop, somebody who is a celebrity and what. Now our paths have crossed. So she, being this poor girl from Flint, abandoned everything. Like, it's just some local dude. Abandoned her whole fiance and engagement arrangement, thinking it was going to be green and the grass would be greener on the other side. And little did she know that Papoose ain't popping like that. And that we, the public, connected Papoose to Remy, and that's where his clout came from. And I think she's learning the hard way that, one, this is why you don't get involved in somebody's marriage before it's dissolved. And then two, Papoose really ain't popping like you thought he was. He was popping because he was connected to Remy, because Remy is the one pulling the strings. She's the one at the Knicks parade. She's the one with the Lifetime movie. She's the one with songs with some replay value, not Papoose. I've seen people post their Instagram reels and put Remy's songs on there. Nobody's doing that for Papoose. Nobody rapping along with Papoose. So I think she's in for a big reality check. And she thought, her new life was going to be, she thought she was going to be the new Black Love 2.0. But she's so jealous hearted and envious that she didn't want it to be associated with what Pap had with Remy. So she tries to one up it because she's a competitive person. So she was like, yeah, black faves. And she tried to denigrate it. First of all, you look dumb because that was Pap's thing. Not really so much Remy. She just went along because that was the wifey, and a good woman gonna hold you down with your ideas. That was really Pap's idea. So when you hate on that, you're really hating on your current, right? Which is Papoose. Black love was his thing, right? And you're like, oh, black fade. Everybody got black. Black ain't all that. Black, you put black clothes in the washer too many times, it's gonna fade. But gold, that's forever. You sound slow. You know what I mean? Gold love. Every time you say that dumb stuff, the people on the podcast like, huh? Gold love? I ain't never heard of that.
She's making herself look like a fool. Like, people
She's making herself look like a fool. Oh, Shyneka, I agree with you.
are condoning.
She does look like a fool, y'all.
She's making herself look like a fool. Like, people are condoning this young lady, like, parading this man around. Like, it's not
Okay, she said it right there. Parading this man around. Absolutely.
not cool for who she is and what she represents.
It's not cool. I agree with all that.
And I'm like, he needs to handle that business so you guys can step forward in the next chapter of your life, because you have to end one chapter to begin a new one.
You gotta end one chapter to begin a new one. Ugh. Bars.
So he's making this lady think that she can rap.
Making this lady think she can rap. She can't.
So, he's helping her with lyrics and stuff. And he's her manager.
Did y'all just hear that? And he's her manager. Bro, your girl, the Guo, is down bad. Didn't she say that Papoose, oh, he ain't my manager. Oh, he don't get no cut of my money. But you're on a radio show, and the radio show is under the impression that he is the manager, just like the rest of us. So Claressa got some splaining to do. You got rid of Mark Taffet, who was your manager since 2016. You signed with Win Records, a record label who ain't put out no hit records, headed by Ruben, but an exec is Papoose. And then now all of a sudden you get rid of Mark Taffet. I've already went over this. Why? Why did you get rid of your manager of a decade when you got with these people shortly after? And then now Miss Shyneka is like, he's her manager. So was there something discussed on the radio show behind the scenes? And if he's not your manager, what does Papoose do? You're not a hip hop act. You're an active boxer in their career. So why would the head of hip hop be in the ring with you, following you around and doing all this stuff, speaking at your press conference, and he not your manager? And if he's not your manager, how does he get paid? Is he even with TuneCore anymore? Because I don't see him promote that. He got a Win Records chain. We're the TuneCore chain. So what is his job? I don't even know if the TuneCore stuff exists right now. Maybe you guys know. Let me know. So all we know is he's connected to Win Records, going to Puerto Rico for boxing events, and pretty much leeching. How does he earn? Please explain how he earns a paycheck if he's not your manager. What does he get paid to do? Hold mitts? You got two boxers who are trainers, Andre Durrell and John David Jackson. So what good is he in a boxing gym when he's not a boxer?
So he's found his place in her queendom, rap. So, he's helping her with lyrics and stuff. And
Helping her with lyrics, but her lyrics are trash. That Ariel Helwani freestyle that she already spat on the Sway show was horrible. Honey, daddy, trying to bully.
and he's her manager. So he's found his place in her queendom.
He found his place.
So he's doing
There's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I would have no issue with that if it just wasn't a scandalous situation.
If it wasn't a scandalous situation.
I think the scandal is just really hurting her, and that she should have steered clear or kept that all the way in the background until it was handled, honestly.
The scandal is really hurting her. She should have kept it. Too bad Remy exposed them. I think they would have been, silent partners or whatever, but Remy ruined all that. But I agree with what she's saying. Shout out to Shyneka. Shout out to Dennis Byron show. Man, Claressa looked bad. And now Claressa, I think she's a narcissist. So she don't like to get put on Front Street. She don't like everybody laughing at her expense. She don't like that Miss Shyneka, a famous ATL personality on the radio, blasted her with that question. She's already taken to social media and reposted a video saying that was a stupid question and putting cryptic messages like you gonna not tolerate it no more. More and more interviewers, do not let her get away with doing these softball interviews. It's going to hurt your platform because people are going to see you as also complicit and fraudulent. Ask her the real questions. Ask her the tough questions if needed. You don't have to disrespect Claressa Shields, right? But you chose to partake in a situation with a married man. So deal with everything that comes with it. As they say, you made your bed, now lie in it. Shout out to Miss Shyneka. And do not let or tolerate anyone disrespect somebody for doing their job. It's even amazing to me how anyone could even claim to be a GWOAT fan right now, right? You're mad someone did their job to the point where somebody's like loosely and subliminally subbing them and threatening, next B that do this and disrespect, I ain't holding back. What is that supposed to mean? Say it with your chest. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? And again, this is over somebody doing their job. She didn't ask a stupid question. That's why it's going so viral, because we all heard it and nobody thought it was stupid. You think it's stupid because you don't have an answer for it. Oh, first of all, he ain't nobody's husband. But if you're going to call him a husband and call him her wife, shut up. You sound stupid, right? He ain't nobody's husband, but you were calling him hubby 2 weeks ago. He ain't nobody's husband, but him and Remy are still legally married. So shout out to Shyneka, clearing the air. Don't let Claressa try to bully you. I try to tell y'all, man, bully behavior. Claressa can't take the pressure, and pressure bursts pipes. Shyneka is not saying nothing wrong. And remember, she already accosted and confronted Alicia Baumgartner, right? Oh, man, leave that right there. Leave that right there alone. My man, Papoose, leave that there alone. No, Alicia Baumgartner, keep speaking your piece. Who is this person? Where we live in a country, we live in America, and there's freedom of speech, and you are giving your opinion on someone else's relationship. How is it that Claressa has all the rights to talk about everybody, Nigeria and Jada the boxer? Literally said Jada the boxer had this and she had this with a baby and blah, blah, blah. And she's this and this happened to her and the R word and grape. Like, why you put out people's business, but people ask about your business and it's a problem. But you got an opinion on everybody else, right? You got an opinion on YouTubers being broke and bald-headed and blogger this and this. And Remy got a man who she's big about, so don't just, talk about it to me. You got to ask her the same stuff and keep the same energy. No, we asking you. So don't let this girl try to bully you about doing your job. People are doing their job to the highest possible quality. So if she's mad, she just got to be mad. It's like a little kid that want their pacifier. It's bad for your teeth. You're too old for that pacifier, for that binky, and let them cry. And that's what the world should do with Claressa Shields. Let her cry while we continue to explore the questions that everybody asks. Don't make Claressa the hero here. Like, oh man, you guys are some haters, y'all jealous, and that was a stupid question. Why is it going so viral? Why are so many people in the comment sections agreeing with it, right? If it was such a bad question. Why is everybody celebrating Miss Shyneka for being the only woman, man or woman, willing to ask the questions, the tough questions? Even the Breakfast Club, they're like, man, that was good radio. That was good. Y'all had her, and y'all didn't ask that question. Y'all had her as a guest multiple times. So Shyneka, bravo, you put on. Because again, Charlamagne, he's supposed to be the one that confronts and keeps it real. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. You supposed to, I seen the list. It said the top 20 podcasters or whatever, is Charlamagne was on the list. So you got people who are getting paid, and they're getting paid handsomely. Do your job. Ask the real questions. That's what you're here for, right? To get to the bottom of it and whatnot. Ask follow-up questions. Why is that such a sin when it comes to Claressa Shields, right? But she can talk about Remy, if she's dating and who she's dating, and ask her and opine about everybody else's business, but we can't ask questions about Claressa. We can't do YouTube videos. And then she could just be like, oh, you guys, everybody's lying. Everybody's stupid. I'm smart and y'all stupid. I'm telling the truth and everybody's lying. But she don't show one iota, one shred of evidence, no receipt. But the bloggers out here working every day and putting receipts to it so you guys know what it is and what it ain't. Claressa just saying no, it ain't true. But it's really yes. So Shyneka is not saying anything different than what you attacked Baumgartner for. Remember, you're like, oh, leave that right there alone. That's my relationship. Baumgartner was speaking what everybody else feels. And now you have Shyneka. And if Claressa had some brain cells in that brain of hers, then she would probably, as a woman, a black woman at that, you would have to look internally and think to yourself, slow down. Instead of attacking everything, why are my fellow sisters and black women and also men and bloggers, why is everybody approaching me and have a problem with how I'm moving, right? It's easy to just discount it and say everybody's a hater, everybody's lying, right? Everybody's jealous. But at some point, you got to grow up, hold yourself accountable, and be like, why does everyone have a problem with this relationship? Not with Maserati Bud, not with Tony Rich, not with my ex-boyfriends. Why am I getting so much flack and strife and content with this right here? So that alone should tell you you're doing something wrong, right? If I'm driving from here to San Francisco and I get pulled over 3 times by 3 separate cops in 3 different counties and cities, there might be a problem with how I'm driving, right? Because what's the likelihood that 3 different cops in 3 different counties all pull me over on the same day? Maybe my registration is expired. Maybe I'm swerving or speeding or rapid lane changing or doing something that is catching the eye of CHP. But Claressa Shields would be like, oh, there ain't nothing wrong with my driving. I drive like Brad Pitt in F1. I drive like Tom Cruise and David's Thunder. Everybody else is the problem and blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's your driving, right? There's no way you're going to keep getting stopped all day, every day by cops unless something legit is wrong. Maybe one cop is a fluke and he just had it out for you. But you getting stopped multiple times a day, multiple times in a month, several times. Your registration is probably bad. You riding dirty. You don't have a license. You got to look at that internally. You got to feel me. Shout out to everybody. I got some Cash Apps. I see y'all. Keep supporting me. Keep supporting the channel. I'll continue to build and grow up my set. And we're going to do it bigger and better. We won't be silenced.